keep on dreaming, painting visions for our children. Tides keep turning, we keep on singing. I'm going under to sing with the whales beneath the crashing waves. Oh, the beauty of your grace. I'm going under where freedom can be found, singing in the deep blue, swimming in your sound. I'm going under to sing with the whales beneath the crashing waves. Oh, the beauty of your grace. I'm going under where freedom can be found, singing in the deep blue, swimming in your sound. Creatures of the deep, aye, aye, creatures of the deep, aye, aye, creatures of the deep, aye, aye, creatures of the deep, aye, the water goes deep and the winds grow strong to carry this love, to guide us home. Oh, the waters go deep and the winds grow strong to carry this love, to guide us home. Oh, the waters go deep and the winds grow strong to carry this love, to guide us home. Oh, the waters go deep and the winds grow strong to carry this love. I'm going under to sing with the whales beneath the crashing waves. Oh, the beauty of your grace. I'm going under where freedom can be found, singing in the deep blue, swimming in your sound. I'm going under to sing with the whales beneath the crashing waves. Oh, the beauty of your grace. I'm going under where freedom can be found, singing in the deep blue, swimming in your sound. Creatures of the deep, aye, aye, creatures of the deep, aye, aye, creatures of the deep, aye, aye, creatures of the deep, aye, aye. I offer flowers to your waters with petals of the heart. May you always be protected. I offer flowers on your ocean altar with petals of forgiveness. May we all remember. I offer flowers to your waters with petals of the heart. May you always be protected. I offer flowers on your ocean altar with petals of forgiveness. May we all remember these creatures of the deep. Aye, aye, creatures of the deep. Aye, aye, creatures of the deep. Aye, aye, creatures of the deep. Aye,
So my wish would be to begin actually just with a couple of moments of quiet stillness, because in many ways I want to reflect how we go through this session, as I may well do during the 11 sessions that are going to precede this during the training. So just the invitation for you to sit nice and comfortably and to close your eyes. Start taking a nice deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, and connecting to this moment. Breathing in here and relaxing. And also connecting with your feeling, wish, and intention to be here this evening. So I invite you to breathe into this Relax into this very softly, very gently. So you're breathing, really honoring the power of life, breath, consciousness, and energy, and our presence is all of this. So breathing in that which is most essential about us, the breath of life itself. Deliberately on purpose, slowing down the breath, slowing down. So deeper belly into lungs, maybe pausing at the top of the breath, gently releasing. So also recognizing you can slow down time by the way that you breathe, slowing down your experience of this moment, breathing in deeply. Relaxing, relax, relax, relax. And in this state of breath and openness and opening, just invite you to tune in to the intention of conscious creative mastery. So let this be our subject, let this be our point of focus, that we can somehow share this tribal collective vision and intention together. So it's drawing in the breath, the power into conscious creative mastery. As you're breathing, also just opening up so that you can receive this evening what is most relevant to you in this moment. What would be good teaching, good medicine, good reminding, a good resource. So opening up yourself so you can notice when you get the transmission, when you receive the words, when you receive the inspiration. So you're alert, awake, and open to receive those aspects of wisdom and energy that want to drop into your awareness during the next hour or so. So becoming available to this moment, to this teaching. And still being aware of our breathing, we can gently open our eyes, come back into this space together. Just as a little breath tip, if you find yourself getting sleepy or distracted or wondering or busy with something inside you, you can take quite a sharp, deep breath, like a just a few of those, just like really pull your attention, like, and feel yourself filling up, charging yourself. There's like a burst of energy. Then relax. And this, in many ways, is also one of the main principles around conscious creativity, is to remain conscious. So you have the capacity to create, the capacity to vision, the capacity to do, the capacity to express, to share, and to live your optimum experience. So before I get into this, let's just have a little hello between us, shall we? So this is inviting those on Zoom and on Facebook. If you want to send a message, say how you're feeling, that's great too. So just invite you, Ishtar, if I can come to you, if you just want to unmute yourself and just perhaps give your name and just a couple of words, how you're feeling, maybe why you're here this evening.
My name is Ishtar, and I'm joining you from Sweden today. And I'm feeling very excited. The energy of the solstice yesterday brought to me a great feeling of hope and excitement.
Mm-hmm.
And then the synchronicity of events brought me to this now and to share this moment with you all. So I'm very happy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
curious.
It's very nice to see you. We haven't seen each other for years, so nice to see you, Ishta. Very welcome.
So nice to see you too.
Nice, yeah.
Really enjoy that. Thank you.
So come to Oz. Oz, if you would like to unmute yourself, just a few words.
Hello, Guy, and everyone. Nice to see you again, Guy. I'm here because I'm very curious about your way of work, and if the small meetings that I have with you, I feel very strong transmission. So it's of course worth to explore more. And I'm in before yesterday, I had a birthday, 38. So it's a big shift in my life. And I know where to go. I know the direction, but not the, So I'm very glad to be here and explore
Well,
and create consciously.
Fantastic. Well, happy birthday for yesterday, and really welcome this evening.
Thank you very much.
Micah, are you okay to come on? If you want to unmute yourself. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm just arriving home from work, so I need to land a bit. But I'm, yeah. When I wrote the ad you sent out about this course, I immediately felt a big yes, because this is a very important theme in my life, and yeah, I want to be more creator and also. Yeah, conscious and creativity is it gives direction to my life. So yeah, I want to bring my focus there more.
That's very exciting. Yeah, I love the way you just follow your feeling as well. You just
yeah.
know when things are in alignment with you. That's great. Yeah. David, how about you?
Hello, everyone. So for me, it's kind of, I'm in this moment in which I'm trying to find a new direction, and I see how I get stuck in some points, and also, because I like your style, so kind of trusting you in general.
That's great you're on here. Yeah, very welcome, David. Thank you. Esther, are you there? Would you like to come on? Do you want to unmute yourself? And maybe you're not there. Let's see. Give you a moment. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Guy. We are here. We are two of us here with Lucy. We are listening.
Hi, Lucy. Hi, Esther. Yeah.
Yeah. So hello to everyone. Okay, how do I feel? I feel a little bit distracted because I have a lot of things going on the background on my mind right now. But yeah, I'm here and looking forward to land here and listen. Do you want to say something? No. Lucy doesn't want to.
I don't feel like sharing, but I'm here and listening.
Nice to not see you in the dark, but welcome in presence. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Is it Pablito?
Yes.
Yeah, great.
It's my nickname, but actually my name is Pavel.
Wow.
And it's quite funny because I just came from outside. I was doing the meditation, stepping into the new future, creating my new personal reality. And so I came back and I had no idea that you are doing any stream. And my brother came to me and said, "Hey, guys, doing this stream, would you like to join?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, I trust that's what's supposed to be." So I'm here and I have no expectation. I have no idea what's going to happen. So I'm pretty glad to be in this pure baby consciousness,
So nice. Well, it feels like you're perfectly tuned in. This is what you've just come in from. So yeah, very well.
Yeah, thank you.
And Asan, would you like to come on?
Hey, my name is Asan Michael, and I just had a bath, so I feel quite relaxed. And the reason why I'm here is that I'm part of the 2-year Dancing a Heart Path Mystery School with Guy, and we just had a we just had a training focused around this topic of conscious creatorship, and it's something that excites me, and I would like to go deeper. And tomorrow I'm actually going for a 13-day darkroom retreat that I actually intend to turn into sort of a transformational retreat where I will be consciously creating and planting seeds for the year to come, and presencing myself and focusing on radiating the energy that I wish to put out into my creative endeavors next year. So I believe this will be an important step from which some new visions might manifest, and we'll explore it maybe in the next calls. So yeah, thanks for being here, and I'm excited for the journey ahead.
Oh, great. That's an amazing process you're about to jump into. So
Yeah.
I'll let you know. I'll be tuning in with you from time to time. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Just saying hi to the people on Facebook. There's quite a few watching right now. And yeah, very welcome everybody. And just invite you just to really tune in to what you're present to in this moment and what you'd like to get out of this training as you're listening. And I'm going to go through the next hour or so, sharing a few practices and teachings just to give an overview of what's happening. But you're very welcome, those of you who are watching on Facebook as well. Yeah, how am I? Who am I? Why am I here? I don't know if you've been looking at the thread that I was posting on today, the group messaging, but I've been busy today. Part of my mission in this training is to refine and the essential tincture, if you like, of 33 principles on conscious creativity. And as I've been going through this, I've got like hundreds. And so I've been reducing it down today, like cooking it up, reflecting on it, seeing which groups go together. And it's been a really engaging process to have this sort of synthesized vision of seeing the whole all at once, all the different aspects, and boiling it down to give you the purest elements that I know possible. And I was feeling into the group, all day. So I was also recognizing that this is something that I'm passionately interested, of course, in my own life experience. But the reason I'm sharing this as a course is I feel this is essential teachings right now. These are not luxury teachings. These are not additional feel-good teachings. This is not accessorizing. This is like essential work, in my view, on the whole nature of our existence. It's always been the case, and especially now, it just feels like it's really highlighted or heart-lighted to bring into full focus the importance of us recovering our natural creator self or creator self. And that's what I really want to invite you into, a journey of empowerment to reconnect to the core essence of who you are and to feel absolute confidence in your dreaming and your intention and your power and your ability to express and to share, even if what you're dreaming up has never existed on the earth before. The bravery to put your head above the wall or whatever they call it and actually to stand out inside something that feels really true for you. Most of you on this call know me. In fact, all of you know me from different places at different times, in different situations. So it's really nice to have this connection. And there's some people who will watch this later who don't know me. So I just want to give a couple of words to that, if that's okay with you. Me. I've been working in what you can call self-development or awakening work ever since I was like 15 or 16 years old. Went into quite a deep process of meditation with a very enlightened teacher for about 10 years from age 16, and learn all sorts of magical and mysterious things about the light body and inspiration and healing and intuition. And it really set me up in many ways for a deep existence. And I called that in very young. It's like I wanted this, what people consider to be like an alternate reality, if you like. I wanted to tune into it and become really friendly with this and activate this and work with the quality of the experience that can come when we connect profoundly to our heart. And it's always been a confusion for me, well, always, for many, many years, this interface between what we see presented in the culture, not just recently, in the last couple of years, always, the presentation of politics or religion or philosophy or all these different presentations weren't a match for my inner experience. And I felt this kind of roughness. It felt like a very crude forms to communicate what I knew to be true inside my own subjectivity. And so what I've been busy with pretty much my whole life is finding language, beliefs, values, communication tools to express as accurately as I can what I know to be true on the inside. Yeah. So one of the main principles that we're going to be working with during the training is this balance between the paradigm and the practice. Yeah. Now, the paradigm is, some people see it as a set of beliefs or a set of values. It's really essentially your view, your view of reality, and recognizing that your view is unique and tailored to you. No two people see the world, reality the same. Similar, perhaps sometimes. Occasionally we share similar angles of perception, similar feelings, similar resonance. But for a large part of the time, we, in fact, I would suggest all the time, we are unique perceivers of the reality. Yeah. Now, this doesn't really make sense how the cultural narrative presents to us, because it says that we should be collective and in a herd way see things because our neighbor sees it this way, or the government or the country, and we're somehow herded into these kind of groupal perceptions. Yeah. So I would like to make a distinction that a lot of these cultural, social, political perceptions are functional. They're kind of necessary in terms of functioning in the present society, in the day and age, and the rules and the laws of the land and all these things. But when it comes to existential creativity, they don't give us the language. They don't give us the tools, the techniques, the vision to really communicate and express what we've come to this earth to do. Yeah? So we're talking about something very profound here when we touch into existential creativity. We're talking about your existence, like your psyche, your soul, your heart, your beingness. Why are you here? The big question. Why are you here? Where are you living from? What are you living for? What is your reason for being? And my suggestion is, if that's not alive in your daily experience, then you're not going to feel the full joy and possibility of life. Yeah? If you're compromising, if you're selling out, if you're living for someone else's expectations, ideals, or all these kind of externalized, you can say, commitments to things that are not true to us. Yeah? Now, this puts us into a very vulnerable position in many ways, because part of us wants to belong to the herd. We're a social creature, we're human beings, so we're in this collective tribal experience on the earth. And yet at the same time, you probably feel the rub inside your system that you don't necessarily belong to certain systems or beliefs or institutions, societies, this kind of thing. There's something a bit off. And my suggestion, that bit offness is because we are all subjective perceivers. Yeah, there are as many worlds as there are people to perceive them. And the quicker we get into ownership of that and understanding of that, the more you tune into your natural creator presence and you own yourself. Like, there's something about sitting in the position of like a sovereign being, king or queen of your creative manifestation, and being owner of your thoughts, owner of your energies, owner of your expressions. Now, in order to do this, we've got to do a little bit of unwinding. And part of the 11 sessions is recognizing where we're confronted, where we're attached, where we are in expectations of others, where we are pleasing the world, where we're performing. There are lots of very clear distractions and attachments that we get involved in that take us away from heartful expression. Yeah? So there's a portion of this work which is cleaning up, polishing, refining, cleansing, and doing this by identifying certain structures, defense mechanisms, resistant patterns, and at the same time going deeper underneath them to really tune into the core energy of who and how we are, and claiming that. Yeah, it's already here. It's here right now. Yeah, as we're sitting, as we're listening, as we're breathing in and out, our essential beauty is already here. But whether we're present to that or not is another thing. Yeah. So then comes the question about, where am I present from? If at any point you want to stop or say something, can you just put your hand into the screen? Or if you want to ask or reflect or So it's not just me in a stream of talking. I would love some interaction if you want to get involved and ask anything. So I'm just checking in now. Is there anything that anyone would like to reflect on from what I've shared already? Anything that comes present for you? Or how do you hear this? You know, does it trigger anything inside of you? Does it resonate inside of you? Are we talking about something which is interesting for you? Just checking in. So I'm going to continue until I get the hand in the screen, okay? So, and if you're off camera, then you can just jump in on the chat, yeah, if you feel like doing that. Let me give a bit more practical information about the course itself, okay? Before I go off into more details about principles and practices and things. So my wish is to give you like a perceptual toolkit. This is one thing. To give you very practical perceptions of how to see reality in a way that's more in alignment with how you feel reality to be. Yeah? So you're not squeezing your essence into a box that doesn't define you or can't communicate you. Yeah? So we're going to look a lot during this journey about the paradigm, refining our way of speaking, communicating, values, the beliefs that we choose to use. And they're going to be small presentations. This is how I see each evening. They're going to be like 20-minute presentations, followed by an experience, like a practice for 10 or 15 minutes. And then there'll be a moment of breakout rooms where you can get to twos and reflect upon the experience. So just a holistic way of learning. To have the teaching, the practice, and then the reflection. And then we're going to come back together as a circle to then, if there's a dialogue or some sense of forum, that we can all share a little bit of our experiences together. This is, for me, fundamentally based on how the Tibetans approach teaching. So you go and see the Lama, the teacher, and they would give you a principle and a practice. And then they'd send you off for a couple of weeks into the dark, into a retreat, to go and study the practice, study the principle. And then you'd come back and meet the teacher, and then you'd debate the principle. You'd communicate your inquiry, what you've realized, what you've seen, what you didn't see, what was difficult, what was easy. And it's a way of learning to own the truth, which is very different to the Western model where we're told to digest, the 10 laws, the 15 principles, the this, that, the other, and just believe it blindly. So this is really quite rigorous work in a very easy way to utilize inquiry. So you're really looking at the essence of what you believe to be true and not being afraid to, turn every stone, look at every aspect and feel into it and see if it really does resonate. Yeah. So this is how we're going to go through some of the kind of cleansing mechanisms of our perceptions. Then there's going to be some space to dialogue in twos to really see what's present for you as you're going through the journey. Because I would love it that you can really support each other. We're going to be looking at certain principles and paradigms together. And so we're sharing a journey and accompanying each other. And during the accompaniment process, as you reflect and share with each other, you're going to be empowering each other's journey and realizations and insights and the everyday stuff of translating it into daily life. Yeah. So I'd very much like this to be like a community tribal experience. I can imagine the first 4 sessions, we're going to go through 3 principles at least in every session. Yeah, we're going to have 3 hours, so we've got time for this. There's no rush. They're going to be spaced out. There'll be some pauses. There'll be some music, some stretching, so it's not all talking. There's experiential movement as well. And then maybe in the 4th or 5th session, we're going to look at a project. We're really going to look at something which is, and this might come earlier. We're going to see how it is with the group. To really start to focus on something that is a passion project for you, something that's alive in you, that you feel inspired by, turned on by, ignited, enthusiastic by, and to bring that into the teaching. So then it becomes more of an apprenticeship work. It's not just studying the theory or the practices, it's actually putting it to ground so you can really apply it. And it can be something big or small. Whatever it is going to be a way of you translating the teachings into action. Yeah. And I find it really useful this way because it gives you a deeper level of focus when you're listening. Yeah. And also gives you a pinpoint, a target to direct your energy into. and to express these practices with. Just going to have a quick look at the chat here, see what Ishta said. Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you, Ishta. Yeah. Does anyone want to come in with anything? Any questions or anything you'd like to respond to with what I've shared so far? No, you good? Okay. Well, let me give a little overview, and without rushing and without squeezing and without giving too much or of overwhelm, just a contextual overview of the why for me of conscious creative mastery, and a little bit of the how, okay, and the importance of this, and what it means for us now in this moment. So one pair of glasses I'd like you to look through is the developmental glasses. Okay, so in childhood stage, the general theme is dependency, and it's supposed to be this way. You know, dependency on the mother, the breast, the milk, the nourishment, the home, the safety, the foundation. So we move through a natural dependency phase. And when we're in this stage, creativity has a very different form. It requires something different from us. It requires relationship. It requires communication. It requires connection. It has certain fundamental functions and intelligences and attributes that occur in that specific stage of our development. But it's not even a belief, it's a fundamental instinctual knowingness that I need the other. I need the other to survive, to have existence. So this is a very brief synopsis of the developmental stage of dependency. When you enter sort of toddler ages, 2, when you first stand up, maybe 1.5, you enter into the I am presence. It's the birthing of will. For the first time, this sense of identity separate from mother appears, and you start to travel, start to explore. So there's this combination between independence and dependency. You move through the house, you move down the park, and then you come back and see where mum and dad is or the carer is. So there's this pulsation between dependency and independence. As an adult, we often frame this as attachment and freedom. Okay, so I need to be attached to people, this clinging, this jealousy, this fear of loss and desperation, holding on to things. Yeah, that's dependency phase awareness. Yeah, and it's necessary at a certain stage. Yeah. Then there's the other side of that, which is independence, which is a bit more ruthless, which is not so caring, it's not so compassionate, it's quite self-oriented based on the personality. My will, my way, my want. And it's not right or wrong, it's just what it is at that developmental stage. It's the birthing of your unique character. Who you're going to be as a human being, who you're going to be as a person. Yeah, is naturally crafted from age 2, and then we revisit this strongly in teenage years. Yeah. When you look at creativity through the eyes of independence, yeah, it's a lot more driven by personal power, status, ambition, goals, needs, but normally always related to self. Yeah, this idea of a self, better life for oneself, or immediate surroundings. What can I get? What can I do? And there's a sense of it not being very empathic. Yeah, this is where you'll stand on someone else's shoulders to get to the top. Yeah, this is where you'll bulldoze your way through to get into the next stage and next moment. Yeah? And there's a sense of rebellion here as well. It's the push against something. It's like, I need to create against this, against that, against this. So it's often problem solution driven. Yeah. Hopefully you can recognize that perhaps in yourself or in the culture or in the climate right now. There's this kind of push to break free of repression or authority, all these kind of things. Yeah. The third stage of our developmental stages is interdependence. Yeah. Interdependence is when you're birthed into the heart space. Yeah, you move up through the solar plexus and this orientation of power and sex and identity. You move into the heart and you start to recover this natural connectedness that you felt in the dependency stage, but you're now doing it with the lights on. You're now doing it with your awareness switched on, knowing you are an individualized, self-actualized being who's now choosing to connect with others. So it's not a dependency. It's not like I need you and the desperation of loss and fear and all these things that come with it. There's the conscious, deliberate choice to co-create together, to coexist together. And this is, in my view, the future and the possibility of conscious relating as well. When we step into our autonomy, open up the heart, listen with sensitivity, we then amplify the experience of the other. So this is very quickly a developmental scheme of how we have the possibility of evolving as human beings. And I want to give you these pairs of glasses to look through when you ask the question, where am I creating from? You see, it's not right or wrong. You see, it's just to clarify, where is my starting point? Because this makes a huge difference. If you're not conscious of where you're starting from, then you might be driven by dependency, and there's attachment, fear of loss, or you might be driven by self-orientation, where there's overtly will. I need to get this. There's a desperation of the result, or there's like the unflowering of interdependence, where you're relaxed in your being. You're not pulling, you're not needing, there's no desperation, and you're sharing your gifts and talents and wisdom because you can. And they're being received and reflected by others who are sharing their gifts and talents because they can. So I'd like to step into the imagination, or the imaginal possibility, that this is what we're stepping into when we're in this conversation of conscious creativity and mastery. It's that stage of interdependence, where we are resourcing ourselves, we are connected ourselves, we understand who we are as an individual, and we also understand the collective. We understand the tribe, we understand the life field, and we're willing to participate together with. So this movement, together with, instead of I take from. You see that shift. Just you don't have to speak, but does that make sense to you? Can you see those 3 different stages? If you want to interact without interacting much, there's these reaction buttons in the bottom. Now I'm just going to give myself a thumbs up because I agree with that. So just thank you. Thank you for your interactions. And on Facebook, I'll just have to telepathically assume that you're in the same page. Oh, you can send me hearts, can't you? And thumbs up if you want to, if you're still there listening. Appreciate that. Okay, so this is one view, okay? There's an inquiry question, which is, who is in? Okay, self-inquiry question, who is in? Which is another way of saying, who's here right now? Who's listening? Who's the one listening? We do a process, which I simply call self-scanning, as part of this creative practice, if you like, to pay attention, right, to notice what's in your field, what's in your awareness. I also call this heartfulness, not mindfulness, heartfulness. Heartful awareness, what's presently here. And this gives you an indication where you're about to start from on a creative project. If you don't do this, then you can just run away into the activity of creation. You see, is that familiar for you sometimes? Sometimes you've gone into the creative dynamic as a reaction. It's like, I need this. You don't pause, you don't reflect, you don't breathe in, you don't resource yourself. You just, I need this, and you go do it. And this often creates a stress response because you're chasing something over there to get something here. You see, so there's the need to fix something. I haven't got this, I want that, I must push for it. And what I'm inviting us into is a more relaxed, heartful, enjoyable, quality experience of creative manifestation in all things. In how you cook the food, how you make love, how you envision your projects, how you're with your children, everything, every single aspect, to come and approach it from that space of I'm already connected. I'm already realizing myself. I know my gifts and resources and talents and abilities, and this is what I'm bringing to life. So that's one principle, is the developmental sequence: dependency, independence, interdependence. And then there's this question to reflect upon, where am I creating from? This gives us an indication of who are we being in the present moment. Now, another practice, which I will do during the 11 weeks, is to work with archetypes a little bit. So before I came on this call, I just went for a walk, and as I was walking, this is generating some energy through my body, focusing on the call. So I was setting up for myself, preparing myself in a positive expectancy, this call before it happened. So this is another principle about setting up the energy before you arrive into it. So you're not walking into things in complete unawareness. It's like this part of me has already thrown a boomerang into this moment, and I'm now catching it as we're here. Yeah, I didn't know who was going to come on the call. Yeah, but I sensed that someone would come, or hope someone would come, and you've showed up. Yeah, and you've showed up into an intention that I began, actually a few weeks ago. In fact, several years ago. But more recently, today, in present time, I started to really refine down the way I'd like to be during this call with you, and to get a sense of the quality. So I'm bringing that into the space. Yeah? And I just want to also notice this. This is what we call generative creativity, okay? Generative creativity. Instead of passive creation, where you're just witnessing what's here. Yeah, so it's like you arrive as a newborn and the canvas is blank. What's here? Or generative creativity, which is you already sent out intentional arrows. You've sent out dreams. You've sent out feelings. You've sent out qualities. You've imagined. You've danced into possible futures. You've done some imaginative rehearsal about what could or could not be. You've tried out the future, through your dreaming, through your capacity for self-connection. And as you set up an environment from a place of feeling, from a place of resonance, then when you enter into it, you feel a lot more confident, because it's like you're showing up into a space that you've anticipated. Yeah. This is not the same as a rigid expectation, okay? A rigid expectation would be focused on the details. Yeah. What I'm talking about is focused on the qualities. Yeah. To be present to the quality of how you want to feel you want to be in the space. Yeah. So I wanted to be open, present. I wanted to wear a blue shirt. I wanted to talk with my soft voice. I wanted to receive you all. I wanted to be here during the journey. I wanted to listen to any feedback or questions. I engage myself to bring myself in consciously. Yeah. And I'm saying this about this call, but hopefully you start to hear a conscious setup is how you can come into any moment. Yeah. You're anticipating with your energy. You're anticipating with a quality of presence. Yeah. The more you do this, the more you start to recognize you're bringing something to the space. You see, you're not waiting to take something or even to receive something necessarily. You're bringing something to the space, to the relationship, to the connection, to the work, to the kicking the football, whatever it is that you're in the process of doing. You're bringing presence, quality, gifts and talents to that. Yeah. And I think this is a very different stage from what many of us have been in, where we go to take something or get something or have something. Yeah. And hopefully you're starting to see already that's embedded in the dependency phase and the independence phase. Yeah. We're not going to magically skip over those, by the way. Okay, we're going to do some work on those stages to see where we are, to see where we're stuck, to see where the resistance is, to see why we are in this insecurity or doubt or fear or constant state of loss. If we don't address what's in the shadow, we're never going to experience our radiance. Yeah. Mm-hmm. How's this feeling? Is this good? Is comfortable? Is uncomfortable? Great, good. Thank you. Yeah, nice. I've got real thumbs as well. I can do that. Yeah, nice. Oh, thank you. I got a thumbs up on Facebook. Thank you, whoever that is. Thank you very much for listening. Yeah. Okay, so let me just hear from somebody else. Okay, I'm going to put David on the spot just to check that you're listening. Okay, what have you heard me say so far? This is also part of the training. Yeah? Reflective listening. What have you heard me communicate in this period of time? Are you willing to come on and reflect? Thanks, David.
About so many things, like depends on what you want to talk about.
What are you hearing? What is sort of resonating for you?
Up to now, I'm not very much touch emotional, to be honest.
Yeah, doesn't have to be emotionally. What are you perceiving here?
It's kind of I like the fact that you're reflecting about the creative process, but is maybe it's because of my lack of experience that I don't. It's too early for me to feel identified with that.
Well, thank you. That's good for now. Thanks for sharing it. Thank you. Anybody else want to come in? What are you hearing? What are you resonating with from what's been? Yes, Oz. Yeah, thanks.
Hello again, from Sweden, by the way, in Stockholm. Really cold here, -10 maybe. So what I hear you saying is that during this work, or the way your perception is and how I perceive you, is that I create really my experience and I have responsibility for how I feel. In principle, everywhere. So if I going for a dinner with my girlfriend to their family, and she telling me that the family is very shakeable and they have the father of depression, as in it's always drama. If I have good focusing on this meeting, then I will have good experience, and it happens to me many times. So sounds for me like a skill that really important to work on and develop, because it's dramatically affect our life and how we experience life in every moment, especially if we want to create things. So it's coming from the meeting with people, or if I want to create an event or create a good relationship with friends, it's coming to everything. And the way that the tools that I feel I resonate because I work after that, but also, of course, to adjust even more to hold it alive and also have it with you and in groups. There is no end how much it can grow. And I see it like it's very, very like to take power on our life, to live consciously the way I really live. And I really resonate with what you say, that maybe many of us, me too, creating or want something from a not so really clear place, or not really from a place that will fulfill us and our environment. And I assume that this is the work that we also work eventually to do more things that more really resonate with our heart. And and to do something good during this life trip.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you so much, Oz, for sharing. Thank you. Really. Thank you very much. Yeah. Oh, also, just to give it back to all of us and those listening, is that during this journey, I very much want your reflections. Your translation of what you're hearing. It's just this feedback loop is a very important part of the conscious creative process. Just to give a wide-angled view, imagine we just move up as an eagle for a minute and looking down on the forest. It's like you see all the trees. You don't see particular trees necessarily. You see the whole forest. You see the rivers. You see the mountains, more trees, more forest. The higher you go, the more green it becomes, the more connected it becomes. As you swoop down, it's like you start to notice the different kinds of trees, the different movements of the river, the different shapes, the rocks, the animals, this kind of thing. And so we have this capacity for constantly changing our depth of perspective and closeness of perspective. This is a very important skill to cultivate. This capacity to take a wide view and then a very close-up snapshot picture, detailed awareness. This is also connected to some of the way that I'm going to be working with you on different trance states or different brainwave states, different kinds of meditation, a little bit of music here and there, a bit of movement sometimes, to activate and open us so that we can get into certain vibrational zones or domains of perception which allow us to see as an eagle, or which allow us to see really up close, to see the details. So instead of it being like a random affair, instead of it like sometimes I see as an eagle, I see the whole picture, sometimes I see in details, it's very deliberate, very conscious, very on purpose. It's much like having one of those, just a camera lens, just like you're focusing in, and just recognize that we do have a lens, which is our focal capacity, Yeah, third eye, our awareness, our attention is the lens. And by our choosing, we can choose as much detail or as much expansiveness with which to look through. Yeah. Now, this is important when we are in a creative journey with a project. Sometimes you get so up close, with all the details, you get stressed. Yeah, it's like, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do this, that. And there's so much doing involved that you're not taking the wider view. Why are you doing it? Who are you doing it for? Is there anything I'm missing in the stress, in the rush? Oh, I'm missing myself. I'm missing myself in the middle of the creative journey itself. There's something I want us to work through over the next 11 weeks, which is this, like a breakthrough, we'll call it, between this perception or this paradigm belief that getting over there is going to make me feel better, or arriving at the end. Yeah. So like chasing the goal, chasing the outcome. And just to reflect upon us, part of the paradigm I work with is the Tao, the flow state, the continuum of creativity. There is no conclusion. It's not like it's done, it's over. It's like a gardener who plants a seed, it grows, turns into a tree, the fruit comes, it ongoingly. You've got a certain participation in the creative journey. It's like if we paint a picture and put it in a gallery, it then moves through the perceptions of every single person who looks at that painting for the next 100 to 300 years, way beyond your own lifetime. Yeah. So creativity does have a life of its own beyond us. Yeah. And that's something worth including when we're talking about passion projects or legacy projects or vision projects, that they have a transcendent aspect to them. They transcend the personality, include the personality, but transcend the personality and include the greater field of experience. Yeah. And this is what starts to happen more and more often when you work from your heart. You start to recognize that your creativity is very generous. There's like, I DJ, play music that I love. People on the dance floor dance for it, and they have their experience that they love. You see, it multiplies out into the space. Yeah. So they're taking something that I'm giving, my gift, they're taking it into their gift of dance, expression, movement, how they translate the music, and then it multiplies. And for me, a good way of looking at creativity from the ego view is it multiplying? Is it multiplying goodness? Is it multiplying potential? Is it sharing? Is it getting bigger and bigger? Like, is there a snowball effect? And then we call this creative momentum. Yeah. The more passion you pour into a project, the more passion is going to come out. Way more than you put in. Yeah. There's something that goes beyond yourself. Yeah. Like I shared earlier, I'll just show you very quickly here. You can see it. There's lots of writing over there. I did that today. Okay. Yeah. And I've kind of crystallized about 52 years of work into that piece of paper. Okay. Like really, essentially, and these are just like 2-dimensional black and white on writing paper. Yeah. And it's like those things are huge. Each of those is a subject that could be talked about for a week, a month, a year. There's like the huge subjects there. And it's to recognize that what we're doing here is like we're refining down core principles, but then we bring them to life again. So, this is where the recognizing yourself as a multi-dimensional being comes into it. You just feel so much more alive in everything that you do because there's more of you in it. Yeah. If you could imagine the range between the eagle and the ant and everything in between, and that's you. Okay, that whole range, that spaciousness, expansion, field of oneness, and the details, the touching the earth, the grounding in the physicality, and everything in between, every state of vision, imagination, emotion, energy, everything in between is you, or you have access to. And when you start to live that way, what becomes interesting for me, at least, is the creative journey I'm so involved in it. Like I'm playing music, I'm in the music, I'm as the music. It's like everything's engaged. It's not detachment, see? And the breakthrough I was inviting us into just now is when we stop looking at the outcome as the goal. Yeah, and we get more into the presence of the creative unflowering, the journey itself. We get much more interested in the quality of experience. What does it feel like, to make this table? What does it feel like to cook this meal? To have your energy in it, your vision in it, your invitation in it. And suddenly what you realize this work is actually about enriching the quality of living. for yourself, others, and life. You know, it expands out beyond you. Also, just to reflect on you, once you see things in a certain way, it becomes very easy to act from them. Okay, the vision enables the behavior. So I really do feel this very powerfully, actually, when you have a clear insight into something. Like if you see a place inside of you that's got resistance, yeah, like if you see there's a fear or there's a belief, I can't do this, or it's never going to work out, and then you can imagine not having that belief at all. Imagine you got on a razor, you just rub that out of your consciousness because it was never yours in the first place. Imagine how you would now behave if you weren't operating from resistance, if you weren't functioning from I can't do it, but you're functioning from I am doing it. And you're not functioning from it's never going to work out. I'm loving it, the success of what's appearing in the present moment. Yeah. Instead of I feel awful, I feel great. Instead of they don't like me, I love what's being given. Yeah. This happens as we start to identify the resistant patterning that we've grown up with, or the culture's enforced upon us, and we've eaten that food for some reason, and digested it. And it's like spitting out the bitter pill. Like, enough of that. I'm going to connect to my sovereign presence. I'm going to connect to my natural giftedness and connect to my vision of the way that things actually feel and dare to express myself. Yeah. And once you start to live more like this, inside out, intuitively, it has tremendous momentum. It's like a fountain that pours over everything you do. It turns into like a lifestyle, a way of being, like the way of the natural creator is a path. You know, it's not like a fixed path. It's just it's a complete dimension of existence that affects every single thing. Yeah. When I came on this call, apart from walking and breathing and setting the things up, the other thing I wanted to mention was that I was also calling in my creator archetype. Yeah. Who do I want to be in this moment with you? I want to be the creator, the master creator who wants to give the teaching on the mastery of creativity. So I aligned this archetypal force with who I'm being right now, so I could give this teaching, so I could be in this presence with you. And another moment, my daughter's still awake, I'll stick on father hat and I'll be in playful creativity with her in a different format. And she can be the master and I can be in play. Yeah. So this shifting of archetypes, shifting of archetypal perspectives changes the way that we communicate and relate. Yeah. I'm present that it's 8:30 right now, and we've got half an hour here. I'm just wondering if anyone's got any questions, anything you want to ask about. This is a training over 11 sessions, or anything that is there any resistance around what I'm saying? Is this something that's feeling good? Is it something you'd like to be involved in? Yeah. Anything you want to bring now or ask? Yes, thanks, Ishta. Yeah.
Hi everyone, this is Ishtar back again. I'm reflecting for myself on what you said before of preparing the next moment. Like if I'm going to a meeting, or if I want to, per se, I'm going to do a sound healing. So if I do sacred work, or if I have a feeling of something's going to probably be difficult, I often prepare the space. But it's much more that I prepare it if I think it's going to be disastrous or difficult. It is not that I prepare it because I'm feeling like, oh, I'm coming to this space to just suck up all the honey and just be the bee. So that's my reflection of what I can be more present about in my own life. And I never really, you put things to words that I usually just flow with, because I'm more like that kind of person. I don't bring myself to awareness in so much details, and I'm coming to a place in my life as a creator when I feel that's very important, because there's so much distortion, and there's so many restrictions, and so many do this today and do that tomorrow, and you can just. I wrote a poem today. It's called Freedom. And then one of the part of the poem is called that they can't take your freedom because it's yours, but you can forget you have it. So I'm in the process of remembering.
Yeah.
So it's good to be here. Thank you, everyone.
This is another dimension of the training, is that to hang out with people engaged in this conversation, in these practices, in this way of viewing and living, and in like an apprenticeship role of translating all of this into action. Like receive something from what I say, process it, talk about it, reflect on it, do the practice, and bring it straight into your life. So it's not some great future, 15 years down the line, one day, someday. This is like the immediacy of translating all these principles into action. I've said a lot of things tonight, and this has also been recorded. Maybe you want to reflect on it again. I'll see if I can send you the transcript as well. That there's a lot of actionable things already from this evening. There's little gems inside of every sentence that's here that perhaps you're listening into, or you can feel into. Just the perceptual lens, how you see things. Our capacity for imagination, that we can consciously project images and ideas and feelings. That we can receive reality so much deeper when we tune into different layers of self. All these things are very actionable. It's not mystical, fairy tale, fanciful. This is very practical on all levels, that we can work with this stuff. I particularly want to emphasize the tribal aspect to this. Especially now, there's this lockdown happening all over the world and different places, and we're not supposed to be socializing so much. There's nothing stopping us from doing this inner work here in this social environment. It's a gift in many ways, that we can sit here from different countries in the comfort of our own homes and engage deeply in an inner inquiry of transformation, awakening, and repurposing our energy for conscious creation. Allowing ourselves to come to natural maturity. Giving ourselves that gift of sovereignty. Finally releasing the resistance and the poor me and the I can't do it and all of that narrative. Just like detoxing from that. And doing that in the presence of others who are going to be mutually reflective and supportive with you. I don't want to give you this promise that this is results oriented, although results will happen. I don't want to give that to you like that's the focus. For me, if you can go through an inner transformation in this time together, where you can wake up and connect to the power that you are, I already know that all the results of every single thing you do is going to be enhanced. So it's not going to be measured by, I did this project or that project. I want us to do those things as a demonstration of what can be done with the power and the energy and the focus and the vision when you combine them and align them. But you'll get the message as we're going through this. It's really about becoming more and more present of yourself as a conscious creator. Then all creativity is the outcome. It's not just like special events I get excited about. I get excited about every single thing I do. The clothes I wear, the movement I have, the food I eat. It's not just when I'm doing gigs for 100 people jumping up and down. It's all the things. And this is what it means about existential creativity, is really to become more alive in your life. That's the invitation. That's what I want to really gift to you, to discover more of your aliveness in the life that you're already living. And to notice and identify where there's a lack of aliveness. To be really honest with this. Where am I inhibiting myself? Sabotaging, blocking, being obstinate, proud, distracted, distorted, all the things that we get up to in the personality. And just like calling ourselves on this. And really invite you in this company to be accountability brothers and sisters, humans, friends, so that we can go through this journey together. And just even just sharing something, just like it clears the field. It opens up a way of potency inside of us that we don't necessarily get to by ourselves. Sometimes our own self-reflection can be distorted. And when you're in the presence of others, it can be amplified and enriched and enhanced. I can give you a couple more overview points, okay? And then perhaps we'll just take a final reflection from all of us, and then maybe we can close with a bit of music and a little guided meditation or something like this. How does that feel? Is that good use of the time? got a thumb, and I got the cat's tail wagging. So I'll take that as a sign. Yeah. 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 So what can I share, which I feel is essential? Yeah. For me, what I've discovered is that for many, many years, I thought I was out there by myself, doing my work in my process, my spirituality and evolution, and it felt a little alone sometimes. Yeah, I certainly felt there was moments of solitude, and I couldn't really share this kind of stuff with people or teach this stuff. And so there was a whole period of time when I was like in my own retreat. Yeah, and it's not right or wrong, good or bad. It's what was happening. But I certainly emerged like as a the caterpillar out of the cocoon to fly, and recognize the deep value of communicating this with everybody. Yeah, so all those years of apparent solitude and persevering and challenges and learning and initiation, all those things that I've passed through, now make sense to me. They make sense to me because of this moment. They make sense to me because of this work. Yeah. And I can start to see in retrospect how all the details of my life experience lead me to now. Yeah. And I would like to invite that imagination for you, that everything's led you to this present moment where you're receiving exactly these words, exactly this communication, because you are open and ready to receive this now. That's why you're here. That's how resonance works. We're in the moment that we have anticipated and integrated ourselves and harmonized ourselves to. So I just want to give thanks to life that brings us to this moment and brings us to every moment, and start to get into a deeper appreciation of the gratitude of the living experience. Yeah. To be alive and to know you're alive brings a natural state of grace and a state of gratitude. Yeah. As you wake up into the present moment and realize, wow, I'm here. I really, really am here in this breath, in this feeling, in this expression, in this conversation, in this connection. Yeah. You become intrinsically woven in with the moment. One of the main principles of creativity, and I say main, they're all main principles, but one of the main principles is, how can you know what you want if you don't know who you are? You see, or you don't know where you're coming from. Yeah, if you're hungry, it's like your belly is functioning and your belly wants some food. So that's where you're coming from. You're coming from the digestion, coming from the belly, coming from a need for food. But when we're talking about the existential, desires, that requires us to be in our deep existence. So part of this work is going to be about dropping us in, connecting us into that intrinsic spaciousness, that which moves behind the mind, behind the story, behind the history, behind the I can't, I won't, I shouldn't, and drops into that place of pure potential. And I want us to create a regular practice. It's going to be very, you could say it's a meditative practice of resourcing, and I'm sure you all do versions of this already, yeah? But to bring whatever it is you're doing into the context of conscious creativity, I'm resourcing on purpose so I can connect to who I am, so that my creativity gets enhanced. See, if you start to create from the depth of who you are, then what you bring to the world comes from the depth. If you connect to you on the surface, then what you bring to the world is a surface. You see, it's shallow or it's deep. Yeah. And maybe you're okay with shallow because that's what you're familiar with. But when you start to wake up to the fact there's more to me than meets the eye, than meets the story, than meets the belief, there's more to me than this conversation of this character called Guy. Yeah, that perhaps we're spiritual beings here having a human experience, really, and you get more in touch with that, the more you want to bring that quality to everything you do. And then you start to live inside out. You start to live from your love. You start to live from your heart. Yeah. In the title of the on the Facebook ad, I talked about conscious creators to co-create the new earth. Yeah. And I really feel this is in our hands. We have this in huge capacity to vision, to share energy, to share potential, to share giftedness and resources and all the wisdom that we've all learned through all the years of our living. Yeah. And we can bring that together, in collaborative, creative projects, yeah, which are huge. Yeah, that capacity to bring that forward, together is an amazing possibility. Yeah? So that's part of what inspires me to do this. Okay, it inspires me to connect us deep and to bring that depth to the surface and really enrich what it means to be human. Yeah, which then has already started to create the new earth. Yeah, deeper wisdom of the humanity, more love in the field, more energy in presence, more natural creativity. To be doing this together. Yeah. So that's pretty core and foundational for me. Yeah? To start from a place of abundance, to start from the heart, to start from the source energy, and to bring that forward. And then all the other things like guidance, inspiration, intuition, these things are very natural. Yeah? These are very natural communication systems that happen when you come from that state of alignment. Yeah? When you live from inside out, inspiration becomes your normal way of being. It's a very natural intelligence to be inspired because you're listening to it, you're listening from it, you're listening for it, you're listening with it. Yeah, it becomes your natural impulse for expression. And then we get into like this bigger field of collective tribal creativity, which some people call thy will or the Tao, where you start to become a manifester of the life field itself. Yeah. So you create from a very expansive state inside of you. I'm going to give you loads of practices, breathing practices, trance practices, meditative practices, visualization, imaginal practices. Yeah, lots and lots of practices to digest all these things that we're talking about. Yeah, during the sessions, I will talk for 20 minutes, 30 minutes max, and then we'll do a practice. And then we'll reflect on the practice. And then we'll do another one, and then we'll do another one. So do 3 practices and sharings every single session, yeah? And then you'll get yourself a buddy, and you get yourself a little bit of homework, how to apply that during the week, how to integrate that. And that's where we'll start the next session from, with a little one-to-one sharing with your buddy. How's your week gone? What have you integrated? What have you learned? What have you seen? And then a little highlights in the circle. What are we bringing to the space? Yeah. I've been working with groups like this for the last 2 years on Zoom, and I can tell you it's a huge resource to feel this connection with people all over the world, who are looking to connect to that place of like deep goodness and heartfulness, and make a difference, make a contribution right now. Yeah. So just checking in with everybody. Does anyone want to come on and share anything from what you've heard, or any questions, or anything else you'd like to bring as we come towards a close here? Yeah. Thanks, Oz. Yeah, come on in.
Maybe it's a private question, but where I am now, I feel really motivated and exciting about life, and I love every moment.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I work as a massage therapist with healing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a bit tired of working so hard physically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But my longing is to work more energetically and help more people in a short time, to maximize my time on this earth,
Mm-hmm.
how much as I can, to heal myself and others.
Mm-hmm.
And so my question is maybe it's a good time to do this course because of that, or it's in the same time it's one of my gifts to touch people, and I'm doing well, but I want to do it in a bigger scale and more meaningful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm longing for first.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, you've already got a talent, a gift, and a work that you love, and now you're looking to extend it and expand it and multiply it into the space. So it's like you already got a seed of the project of something that you want to bring into. And during these 11 sessions, it will just get clearer and clearer and clearer. So it gets really precise, like details and activity and structures and forms where you can make a difference to yourself and try different possibilities out. It doesn't mean you always do the first thing that comes. Sometimes it's in the experimentation phase that you discover, how other forms of working with energy or connection or healing can manifest. So it's also being open to that place inside of you that you may not even know certain levels of giftedness that you have. Different things come online at different times with us. It's like we wake up to different abilities at different stages of our life, and the fact that there's a part of you that's calling this, that's wanting and wishing this, means that you've already set up the energy field to receive the information connected to it. So yeah, I mean, absolutely, definitely, with clarity and precision, this will something we can look at within this journey together. Yeah.
Thank
you. Yeah. Nice to see yours. Thanks for coming in. Yeah. Let me just see. There's a couple of questions. Asan, where are you? Oh, you're up there now. You've moved.
Hey.
Hi.
I really love the synchronicity, how you organize this one day before I go to the dark room, and the next call is one day after I come out of the dark room. So which brings me to a question, which you may maybe extend to everyone in the call. And what I would like to ask, if you have any invitations for inquiry for the coming weeks, so that we come ideally prepped for the next call.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Well, you've got lots of prepping time.
I got what?
You got lots of time to prep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to step into the imagination that either the group of us gathered here will come on the training, or others who will watch this video later will be inspired by this, or those of you on Facebook who are interested, you might be interested to step in. As you probably are aware, is that things don't happen if you don't commit to them. This is a lot of people got commitment issues, which aren't really commitment issues, they're responsibility, and they're really choice issues. And when you fall in love with something, the commitment and the choice becomes easy. So this is one thing to look at in your life is, this is not meant as a salesman thing, but can you be without this training? Can you be without becoming more conscious as a master in your life? I'm sharing with you that I'm bringing in my whole life's experience into this, crystallized focus, this lens to share with you. So it's not meant to say it's a shortcut, but it is a shortcut. I'm bringing years and years and years of deep practice in shamanism, tantra, creativity, all these things into this moment. So that's one of the things, is to consider your commitment to this. And the commitment to this is commitment to you, is commitment to your values, commitment to your worth, to your abundance, to your possibilities, to your giftedness. And, giving up the wrestling match. Giving up the wrestling match with the subpersonalities, with the resistance, moving beyond that to live as a visionary being. So one thing there, San, and to everyone, is to clarify your choice, to step into this training, to step into this course, to step into this process, this dynamic inside yourself. Second thing is to start to open up into the realm of imagination without fixed outcomes. Start to consider from the place of qualities. That would be my suggestion to all of us, is start to vision not in terms of details, but what is the quality of the life that you want to be living from and living into? Is it going to have more love in it, more beauty in it, more joy in it, more peace in it? Which combinations, which characteristics would really make a difference to you and others in a relationship? And you might have to give up stuff. What do you have to give up in order to allow this? You might have to give up stress, rushing, performance, other people's expectations, pleasing everyone. So there's also the looking at the aspects inside of us. What are we ready to give up in order to receive ourselves more fully? And again, the giving up process isn't difficult once you've had the perception of your heart. As your heart starts to wake up, the other things fall away relatively easily. The attachments, the fears, the stories, because your heart has got such a beautiful radiance. It just becomes compelling. So, imagination, commitment, opening up to your heart presence. And it's not so much calling for a mission in terms of like the details of the mission, but it's allowing yourself, I would suggest to all of us, to fully be here embodied. And to function from our giftedness. So there's an inquiry there. What are my gifts? Am I a communicator? Is touch my thing? Is it art? Is it vision? Is it people? Is it the environment? Is it politics, or where is my giftedness? Where is my capacity? And this is something we're going to be going through during the journey, but these are contemplations which are worth considering over the next few weeks. So you started the course already. You see, you started an open consideration. Who am I? How am I? Where's my giftedness? And you start to listen a bit more carefully to this intuitive impulse. I'm going to say this many, many times during the training, but learning to take inspired action. Listening to inspiration, acting from inspiration, and to get the signaling really, really clear. You see, get it really clear, because inspirational communication is your heart communicating. It's not some distant, faraway being that you don't know. It's you. Inspiration in spirit action is the voice of spirit that you are communicating to you as a personality. Yeah. So learning to be intuitive, inspirational, is allowing your heart to speak. Yeah. So if you start to tune in to the heart speak, then you start to recognize the depth of the guidance. Yeah. It's so accurate, it's so precise, it's so synchronistic. Yeah, because it's plugged into the wisdom of creation. Yeah, the heart voice, the resourcing voice. Yeah. There's so many things here, Asen. You're going to need more than 2 weeks in the dark, do you see? You're going to need the next 11 weeks, see? There you go. Anyway, hopefully those things are useful reference points anyway to deepen your inquiry. But I would say fundamentally that if you choose to come into this training, into this course, then you'll start to notice everything starts to line up with it. You'll start to see your relationships, your work, your expression, your health. Everything starts to line up inside of this. Because when you talk about existential creativity, you're talking about the transformation of your existence. You're talking about recovering your sovereignty and your power and your vision and your abilities. Yeah? And when you've made that choice, everything starts to listen to that choice. You might have a little bit of resistance at the beginning. There might be some oscillation. Do I, don't I? But when you fundamentally get into the power of the heart presence, then everything comes into a state of alignment with it. Yeah. Is that just a high five, or was there another question, Asen? Yeah. Or Oz, yes, David, do you want to come in? Everyone's got their hands up all at once. Yes, David, yes, come. Oh, just a high five. Yeah, good, nice, thanks. I got it. Thank you very much. Yeah. Something we will get clear about is our signaling on the Zoom call. Okay. Esther and Lucy, is there anything you want to say? Do you want to chat and say anything? Are you good with the listening? Any questions? Or Pablito? Is there anything that wants to be expressed? So I just want to put this out because there's a few people on Facebook as well listening. Oh, who's coming in there? Who's this? Oh, Esther. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna share. It's Lucy.
Oh, hi, Lucy.
Hi. I'm looking in my notes, but I was gonna say what touches me very deep is the question of, am I being relaxed in my? Am I relaxed in my being?
Mm-hmm.
And from that point, to create and live my life. So I just want to name that. It touches me.
Mm-hmm.
Am I relaxed in my being? I also very much like the essence of what am I bringing to the space, not what am I expecting to receive from the space.
Mm-hmm.
But even though I'm going there to learn, what am I bringing?
Nice. Yeah, I like that.
What am I bringing to the space?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Clarify the choice. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit tired because it kind of feels to me it's quite late for this kind of topic. Like my cognitive capacity is the strongest in the very morning, but I feel this is a good place to be, and I'm definitely going for the training. So I'm excited.
That's great. Yeah, thank you, Lucy. Thanks for those reflections as well. Just for all of us, is that these kind of reflections, as Lucy just shared there, that's the kind of thing you'll be reflecting in twos or to the group from time to time. And it really does reinforce and amplify the learning process. Because I'm saying these things from one angle of perception, and you can say a similar thing from your angle, and suddenly it has a whole other level of enrichment. Yeah. And it constantly reinforces and amplifies and gives back our whole experience to each other. Let me just be very practical in terms of like details of what to do next. If you want to come and join in, I'm gonna just edit this video a tiny bit and then repost it and invite other people, because there are a few people who couldn't come on the call this evening who wanted to see this. So those people who are seeing it right now, this is also for you. And just really invite you to just feel into your being, your body, and to sense, can I make space for this in my life now? Yeah. Can I make space for this way of being, this paradigm shift, this activity of presence and giftedness and talents and potential and all sorts of things? And I will do my very best to give you very precise teachings and then very aligned practices so that you can experience the depth of what's being shared. And we were going to go through this process in a very holistic way, so that there will be breath, there'll be some movement, visualization, looking at different aspects of us. Yeah? We're going to start on Wednesday the 5th, I think, of January. It's going to be the first time. And then it's going to be every Wednesday after that for 11 sessions. There's going to be a private Facebook group where all the recordings will be shared. And also there's going to be other resources given. So I'm going to put everything into this course. I'm going to over-deliver and give you, lots of exercises and things on top of what's being shared during the Zoom calls. Okay. And so there's a private Facebook group. There's going to be extra resources. And I've also set it up on a sliding scale. So the full price for this training is £333, and there's a sliding scale down to £222. Yeah? And I want you just to feel into it and to see where you want to pay on that spectrum. What can you afford right now? What feels good for you? And you can pay more than that if you like. Yeah? Really, this kind of work is priceless. I've just had to put some kind of figure on it that I feel valued in, that I feel good in. So there's a range there between £222 and £333 if you want to come in. And ideally, to commit to the work would be to pay a deposit of £100 by the end of December. For me, that would be something which would like clarify your place, clarify your commitment, and then we can either work out the rest of the payment weekly, or you could pay it all in one go. We can decide that between us, yeah. But my wish would be to have a deposit by the end of December, and clarity that you're coming into this with full power. Yeah? And I want to support you in that full power to come into this choice, this intention. Yeah? I think those are all the practical things, and I'll share them on a link below this video when I share the video. And I'll also send out another email to people in the next few weeks to see if there's other people who want to come and join in. And if you've got friends you'd like to go through this journey with, please share this with them. And they can have a private message with me. They can connect. Those on Facebook as well, if you want to come in, please send us a message. Let me know you're interested. And also, what would it take to be committed to this? To choose this as a way of being for 11 sessions that I would like to say I can guarantee will alter the nature of living in a good way, to bring more quality, more inner wealth, outer wealth, abundance and well-being into your system. I would like to just close, if that's okay, just with a little bit of guided meditation with a quiet piece of music, and invite you just to come back and share how this was later, if you like. If you want to message me, send us an email, that would also be great. Yeah. Great. There you go. Thank you, Lindsay, who just committed to join on Facebook. I like that. Thank you. Lovely. You probably realized I'm not a professional salesman. This is not a very polished webinar. This is me being me, sharing what I love and inviting you into that. So if you feel the resonance for this, if you feel the connection, if you feel the enthusiasm, then really invite you to meet that with your declaration and your commitment. Okay. So just like to close your eyes again, and we're just going to drop into a soft space. We'll start with a little bit of piano music, just so we can just sensing yourself, just taking a few deep breaths. Feel that you're just traveling in a river right now, maybe on a canoe. Beautiful nature, just connecting to the imaginal realm, the imaginal landscape. Breathing in, breathing out, feeling the softness of the flowing water, flowing piano. Just breathing nice and deeply, just feeling your connection with yourself, energy of life flowing through your body. Just feeling refreshed and enlivened by this dialogue, by this potential, by this possibility. Maybe sucking the breath with the mouth a little bit open. Feeling yourself as the river. Feel yourself as the sky. Feel yourself as the canoe. Just feel yourself in the space. Feel yourself connected with the landscape. And invite you to do a bit of breathing now, where you start to open yourself up from the inside. So breathing in deep into the diamond of your heart. And on the out breath, feel the radiance, natural radiance flowing out from the diamond through your body out into the world. So breathe in, connecting. Breathe out, radiating. So when you take a nice full breath from your belly all the way up to your lungs, and breathe out. And on the next breath, breathe up, belly to the lungs, and pause. Hold your breath at the top of the lungs and expand. Feel yourself expanding in the stillness. Hold the breath for a little longer. And enjoy the gentle release of the breath until all the breath is gone. Just the pause on the out breath. So I invite you to breathe into stillness, hold the breath, and then breathe out and back into stillness. And enjoy the stillness as you open up into this transcendent music. And in the stillness, invite you to reclaim the sovereignty of your heart. Nice full breath, feeling the beauty of your own heart. Inviting your heart presence, your creator, your creatress self, to be more awake in your life. You're expressing, behaving, relating, dreaming, visioning, inspiration. So calling forth the power of your heart to be the center of who you know yourself to be. Often asking the question, what would my heart do? What does my heart want? What does my heart desire? And listening to the inspirational, intuitive response of your heart offering directly from the depth of your being. Just with one more music now, just to invite us to breathe more fully, a bit more strongly, so feeling the connection with your body. As if there's 1,000 suns pulsing through every aspect of you. Feeling this sense of radiance moving out into the world. And we can start to just really connect to ourselves, maybe a little bit moving, a bit of shaking, a bit deeper breathing. And just feeling us together as one tribe, heartful awakening, rising together in love.
Each vibrant cell is vibrating with desire, high on life itself. I'm consciously making space, opening and allowing. I'm doing the work that's needed. I'm ready, bring it in, 'cause I know that I am worthy of it all. The wonders and the magic, all I'm dreaming of. And this is the new way, a new way of living, a world waking up. We are rising in love. Breathing deep, I feel God within and around me. The true light of my being is there for me to see. All is becoming clear. The veil is oh so thin. Everything is changing, but I'm ready, bring it in, 'cause I know that I am worthy of it all. The wonders and the magic, all I'm dreaming of. And this is the new way, a new way of living, a world waking up. We are rising in love. I know that I am worthy of it all. The wonders and the magic, all I'm dreaming of. And this is the new way, a new way of living, a world waking up. We are rising in love. And now I remember why I am here. Got nothing to lose, all is to gain. And I choose to learn from love instead of pain. I know that I am worthy of it all. The wonders and the magic, all I'm dreaming of. And this is the new way, a new way of living, a world waking up. We are rising in love. I know that I am worthy of it all. The wonders and the magic, all I'm dreaming of. And this is the new way, a new way of living, a world waking up. We are rising in love. I know that I am worthy of it all. The wonders and the magic, all I'm dreaming of. And this is the new way, a new way of living, a world waking up. We are rising in love. I know that I am worthy of it all. The wonders and the magic, all I'm dreaming of. And this is the new way, a new way of living, a world waking up. We are rising in love.
Nice big breath, just feeling the power of that song, beautiful song, lovely lyrics, the resonance of that song inside of us. So thank you very much, everybody who's been on the live call. Thank you, everyone who's been here on Facebook. Thank you to those who are going to watch this in the recording afterwards. Really appreciate your time, energy here, questions and reflections. And it would be a great honor for me if you want to come on this training and journey together. Would really love to share all I have to share from my heart with you, for the betterment of life and the goodness of humanity, creation, all these beautiful things that we have the possibility to tribally co-create with together. So thank you very much, everybody. Look forward to hear from you. And goodbye for now, yeah? Goodbye for now, yeah? Bye-bye, bye-bye. Thank you.